You know, for a moment I was like, oh, how am I going to get everyone up on the, on the Rupture team to highest level? I have the two level boost tickets. Hey, welcome back to more Limbus Company. I'm SlayerMathis, and last time we did just a little bit of stuff, just a tiny bit. And this time we will be doing more little bit of stuff. I am going to boost these two up to level 50. I did say I was going to figure out what I wanted to do for my teams, and then I didn't, so just give me a moment. Okay, well, I am just going to actually go with the Rupture team, including Queen of Hatred. I'll have some people who are a bit underleveled, but quite a few levels under, but oh well. Absolute banger out here. A scandal in time. Don Quixote loudly and obnoxiously flips through the newspaper in her hands while peppering in a few insightful chuckles. Unfortunately, I know exactly what this means. And that she'll continue to try to draw my attention until I acknowledge her at the most appropriate moment. Okay, Don Quixote, fine, what is it? Oh, Manager Esquire, dost thou know that the city's upstart companies, such as one Limbus Company, must always pay close heed to the ever-changing world around us? Hie thee hither! Read thy newspapers, Manager Esquire, and do keep thyself up to date in the events of the city, as for so did I, Don Quixote, do every morrow. But just go along with it, why don't you? We're just talking about Marcel and one of his morning routines, but, you know, the one with the newspapers. The newspaper routine. Wakes up exactly before the crack of dawn, parks himself in a chair, folds one leg over the other at an exactly 90-degree figure-4 leg-lock position, and peruses the morning newspapers. That. Yeah, I guess left an impression on her. But she'll be back to her usual self in a week or so. Hearken unto me! Art thou paying attention? Yep, totally. That was new. What, did Naruto mention us or something? How didst thou know? Wait, really? Forsooth! Feast thy eyes on page 3! Though it's quite regrettable that we were robbed of the chance to be on the front page. Page 3? We're really starting to get our names out there, huh? Don Quixote and Roja, the two sinners guaranteed to draw the full attention of whichever space they inhabit, were speaking. It was only a matter of time before the other sinners began crowding around us, curious about the commotion. A dramatic conclusion to the mysterious disappearances at Teacorp! Shocking! The perpetrators of this mysterious case have been revealed to be none other than the prestigious Edgar family, appalling the general public. I don't think I need to hear that part. What else to say? With small assistance from some wandering bystanders who happen to be lost in the area, but the admirable heroics of the Teacorp cluster collections have on the scene. Wandering bystanders, is it? Perhaps chance that particular denomination refers to us. Bystanders? They're treating us like we're barely there. Even mention our company name. Ah, come on, those time glyphs weren't even there. Looking at the range of behavior for the news media. Well, then maybe those who seek to interview us after reading this very article, mayhaps. Yeah, I'm sure we'll have a grand old time looking for wandering bystanders for an interview. Very descriptive. I doubt anyone will pay as much attention, Don Quixote. Better not set yourselves up for disappointment, and we were standing there for a good moment in a big group, chatting about the article, when someone slowly but smoothly walked between us. Excuse me, are you the Limbus Company employees by any chance? You fellas are. I'm sure you're already aware of the reason for our visit. I welcome thee here! Long and hard have I awaited thy arrival. Now, from whence shall we begin? Did you actually here to interview us? No, wait, Don Quixote wasn't just losing around at nothing. I was not told that any interview would be taking place. Why did Burke go at a time like this? Why did he put that leftover hair over his makeover? Well, make your bets. Alright then. Well, I shan't likely take all the credit for what we've come to. Will you be making your tax payment in installments? Huh? We're clearly on the same page here. We are tax collectors from Teacorp's time collection agencies, currently on a mission to collect your overdue time tax. Those ills never bring us a good tidings indeed. Well, time tax? That doesn't make any sense. I paid our time tax before we went through the Teacorp Nest immigration process, Virgilius said a few days ago, Lord Mephistopheles. Shall you need to pick up a timepiece for each of us to carry? I know it's already my Teacorp. Everyone must carry a timepiece. Yes, I know the rules. But for every rule, there's always room for an alternative that offers a bit more flexibility. Of course, I don't suppose it's listed anywhere in that pamphlet. Outside of seeking a short-term stay at Teacorp can pay the appropriate time tax for the length of their stay to be exempt from the relevant obligations, instead of going out of their way to abide by Teacorp's rules. As you may have expected, anyone born outside District 20 must go through numerous hoops before they can be issued a timepiece. So we have to pay 30 days worth of time tax on the spot before entering T-Corp's borders. Impressive, can't even cheap. Yet I wish to wear a watch as wet like Lady Otis does. I've already made it clear this is not a fashion item. As I've said so in the past, the company has no budgetary concerns. It's given that they should be taking care of such expenses. Started operating a real professional company, aren't it? Yeah, it must have been a minor miscalculation or something. Maybe we fell slightly short of the amount we had to pay. It's been 30 days since we arrived here, though. I'm sure we can pull on all that stuff to figure out what months around in there. Easy peasy. Heathcliff muttered, gestured towards Sinclair and hung with the chin. If we'll help pay the time tax, then sure. Oh, maybe. I hadn't packed much when I left, though. I'll do the damage. How much time tax we owe you? Can't you are? 10 billion, 40 million, and behind time tax payments. What? Did I hear it get worse already? I heard a 10, 40, and the rest kind of flew over my head. That much money? Oh, we might have to restuff at my place first. What options do we have? We can't, don't pay. Can't pay the tax, not an option. The only options are the following: make your payment for time or money. With interest, of course. I'm making payment with time even mean. I think I remember someone talking about payment with time before. Never cared to figure out exactly what they meant, though. You saw Heathcliff know anything about this? I almost failed to make my payments during the residency at this nest. Thus, no one transpires on an occasion when one fails to pay the time tax. Never been involved in messy business like taxes at the manor either. I've actually today bossed up a complicated shot like that for the rest of us. Did see a few poor souls getting dragged away because they failed to cough it up there. Well then. With not so hopeful answers, my mind immediately began to wander toward Faust, who I hope to know something more about this than the two of them. It's when Otis suddenly defiantly stood between us, the collectors. It's completely unreasonable. What kind of shoddy calculation led to this nonsensical figure? Calculation and T-Corps are always exceptionally reasonable. The clock's ticking. Would I be correct to assume that you lack both the capability and the will to make your fair payments? We don't have to ask about this. Can we get a time out? Your choice of words may be quite unwise. Crying while what about not wanting to escalate things when you got 10 billion on your pockets? Recognize your opinions anything of worth otherwise. No? Then shut and stay out of our way while we deal with this obstacle that dares stand in our path. How exciting. A 10 billion on death. 10 billion and 40 million on to be exact. Oh boy! Taxes! Let's go! We get to beat up tax collectors. We do get some base extra from this being time killing time. I actually do want to double check. I am just having this up, but I do want to see if we can build a Tremor team. We have T-Corp. We do have a T-Corp there. T-Corp Roger actually is pretty decent. No Tremor there. No Tremor there. Your Divvy, Spice Bush. Zvi does Tremor. Molar Sinclair is pretty good for count. I could maybe build up a Tremor team. I'll do that like between parts or something. Just kind of figuring out. Okay, so we'd have what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. Although we are getting to the point where we have backup units. Well, we're kind of getting to the point where we have backup units, so. But that's besides the point. We're gonna go into our Rupture team. We're quite behind on levels on a fair few of them. God, the music's fucking groovy as hell. So we got all the Mao branch in here. Lord Honglu is really cool. He operates super uniquely, but that's mainly with his skill 3, which we do have coming up. You can tell it's coming up because it's the one pride skill that he has. Like, all the high show, like, there is a little bit of memeing that, you know, there's so many high show, and there's gonna be even more with, I believe, 2 more announced, between the parts that I'm recording. But still. Anatomy Haisho Packs is one of the most unique abilities in the entire game, I would say. Because, we'll show it off here. So after hitting it, he just, it's a single coin, but it causes the, I believe it's next Haisho in deployment order to use their skill 3, and then he does a combined move with them. If you do not have Haisho, he uses a different version that is less powerful, but in addition of getting these, the extra attacking with the extra animation, he also does get a unique stat, well, quote-unquote unique stat. It's weird. But gets the Haisho Contamination, which is unique to every single Haisho type. All the Haisho have unique effects, which is cool as hell. Seriously. Lord Honglu is so cool. It is a very mechanically dense ID, but also it's just really cool. So like, you can see why I wanted to make sure that we got the 2 Haisho that we wouldn't be able to shard. Sucked that we had to go to pity for one of them, but at least we didn't have to go to pity for both. And again, like, our levels are pretty low, but, well. T-Corp staff in a different uniform approach the sinners as both sides went on the defensive. This is one of the ringleaders. Maybe of a higher rank, but he's an employee of T-Corp all the same. To say that our insistence on meeting the demands of hostility may lead to a direct confrontation against the full force of T-Corp. Lay down your weapons now! Should you refuse to cooperate, all of you present may be considered hostile individuals by T-Corp, and we will use force to... I like that. How thrilling. This is bad. Seems like a great time for Gillis with his intimidating glowing eyes to appear. Man, you think much better between us and the guidebot only a few days ago? It's been a forever since then. Come on, don't glare at us like that. We have reasons, okay? Ship out of nowhere and trying to extort a whole 10 billion on. 10 billion and 40 million on, to be exact. You like saying that, don't you? Jeez. Yeah, the point is, there was no way to own that much money. Kind, law-abiding citizens who ought to brim with a sense of justice. Here, here. Forgive us some quietly for a moment as the sinners chattered on like they were a part of a comedy skit. I agree that 10 million on the taxes does seem unreasonable, however, it is a mystery to me how no one stopped to think for a second about how the troubles you might spark by stating a meaningless scuffle like this. In the middle of the street, no less. Real sets our deep side before turning to the T-Corp employee. If any regret about this incident has led to bloodshed, for 10 billion on time tax is unacceptable. I'm sure you know full well that 10 billion on worth of taxes and cash money that we can simply fork over in the middle of the street. I believe that would have been more appropriate if you had provided us with some context as to how this number came to be, instead of immediately marching up to us and demanding that we pay the time tax. I admit that such an absurd amount of time tax levied upon your group is almost unprecedented. We have been summoned to an emergency meeting in a relevant office to assess the severity of this incident. I see your point. Why don't we move this conversation to the collections office in the relevant jurisdiction area for now to discuss possible solutions. Yes, quite. Okay, so Otis was struggling a little bit. Ah well. We are pretty far off of... And we have... I mean, still, nice... what is that? Like, about 100,000 XP to sit around. A case of the garage. The truth behind the absurd amount of time tax levied upon us was much similar than I expected. About a week ago, a large, unscaled, authorised temporal leakage phenomenon was observed at the Wuthering Heights Manor, which shot you up several stages in the progressive time use text bracket due to the immense amount of time leak. Temporal leak phenomenon. It refers to a deceleration in the flow of time within a certain physical field. The irritation wasn't even a stop acceleration field. It was all over the manor for a good while too. We measured about 4 hours worth of time in the process. What else is she bluffing about? Deceleration was 12 times that soon. It's referring to the amount to which Dante granted us the clarity as we were in pursuit of the man of the manor. Impossible. When I was built, it was actually for less than 30 minutes. You must take your 4-hour measurement as a calculation error. No. During the authenticity as we experienced the weed part of the manor, it's most probable that no error had occurred in the calculation. Do you recall Dante has left behind the manor? So, is there what's wrong with our daily routine? We just returned about Festalties after the incident at the Wuthering Heights Manor. Most sinners were keeping to themselves, giving a clear look of sorrow on Heathcliff. However, Don Quixote's ever-cheerful voice, like always, constantly shattered through the silence. I wasn't ever an anomaly. We could have been issued a more newspaper, the evening newspaper, using it just with the amount of time spent at the manor. Perchance was an innocent mistake. As long as I have been passenger of this bus, morning papers have been delivered during designated morning hours, and evening papers have always been delivered during designated evening hours. The possibility that they have made a mistake cannot be completely ruled out, as the likelihood of that is minuscule. Now that I'm looking at it, that's a sunset, not a sunrise. You can tell because of the lack of colour. This cannot be! This must be the early hours of the morrow, is it not? I have no idea how this inconsistency came to be. Alright, TT4 protocol. What's that? Temporal velocity synchronization device or something like that. Seen happen for once, lose your solution to all your time synchronization needs. Enjoy equally leisurely hours together or some shit like that. It's quite unlikely so he to use so many complicated words in a sentence. Pretty sure someone explain it in plainer language. It is an apparatus for equalizing the velocity of time particles effective under the TT4 protocols into fluids. Forsooth! I thought it quite odd if someone so affluent in time was moving and speaking at the same speed as the rest of us! With this suspicion, we concluded the time we've experienced within the manor was flowing at a faster rate than the world outside. That's a coherent explanation as to why the evening newspaper instead of the morning newspaper was issued. Good. As your curiosity says, don't suppose anyone has any issues with tackling a new job. You'll see just a new request attack on extortion. It's more detailed information. So, activate my ability within the TT4 protocol caused... Indeed, he was keen to tampering with an already accelerated flow of time. On Sarah's point of view, it appears there was more time than what was actually spent was leaked. This bloke knows more than what he's talking about! Oh, she didn't just manipulate time or pressure shell, she know you affected flow of time instead of physical space. Let me warn you, there's even the aesthetic field, moved all over that manner. Obviously, the situation is completely unprecedented. Right, anyways, they used to activate only on special occasions when we had plenty of guests over for a visit, so bloody pricey. So, time tax for your inflated tax bracket, multiplied by the sheer tax per influence and physical space covered by the time per manipulation. No wonder it all adds up to this insane number. It is like something like this would happen. Well, anyway, you have two payment options, so this time tax debt. Oh, options? What options? Like, bags totally on grow from trees, innit? Option 1, cash payment. Option 2, time payment. Not that, what's that supposed to mean anyway? Paying with time. It means out. The employee who was about to answer our question with a painfully observable annoyance suddenly jolted at the sound of the alarm. Understood. Just got a call that ready hold the emergency meeting regarding this incident. Name's going to send 2 individuals to the meeting to represent your company. No need to tick-tock and fuss, Dante. Dealing with complicated matters like this meeting is one of my responsibilities. I'll be joining them to discuss the possible solutions to this incident, so please keep the sinners under control. Except you, Miss Faust. You're with me. Understood. Make another mess while I'm gone, and only Ryosha will enjoy what comes up next. Keep that in mind as you wait. Oh. There you go, I guess. Maybe give us a chance to ask more questions. We're just leaving you like this? Is this whole mess basically about what will happen to us? So, this isn't anything serious, but... What's Marcel doing on the gallows? What? Marcel, what are you doing up there? I was told to stand, so I've done so. Who told you to do that? I did! Just trying to be helpful with you and your friends, the little time tax problem. I don't know employees are supposed to be at the emergency meeting. Whoa! Clock with lights! How fascinating! Someone just submit you for consideration of the episode of Expo. You can be with even a participation trophy. Maybe at the time when some have the social media time is jump into the comments that are rather tragic, put up the sign fall. She had the time to find your path and never was at once. So directions tell time. The only one thing you're the other leaving you lost in time is stranded in the streets. That's no good, not at all. It's no better than a clock tick to a compass at the end of the day, is it? Oh right, T5-2 protocol is operating with an experiment for capacity of this office space, so don't forget. Anyone not sitting with the Daily Standard Time, my friend, there's a loads of historians, so keep that in mind as well. Now, that's a look at someone who's never even heard of the TT5-2 protocol. TT5-2 protocol, as the name suggests, is invented to address the temporal affairs problem present to the TT4 protocol. So its test runs and only a few select T-Core promises, so if you ever do feel the urge to leave your impressions in this new shiny thing, feel free to jot down a few words on about it. Wait a minute, who wrote the 3-star review? The man who we presume to be T-Corp staff seemed very adept at holding one-sided conversation with zero external input. Not that any of us keep up with how fast he was speaking anyway. Anyway, if you're ready, let's get cracking! I'm ready. Wait, I don't really know if this is going to be something ready for something that looks like you up instead of the intimidating machine tightens around Marceau's throat. Is this what it means to pay our time back with time getting hanged from the gallows? Please call by besides name capital scale gallows, but the exact time when you own and sucks that time right out of you. It wasn't the original way, mind you. It was simply too much help up and help with stuff too long. It was approximately 58 words or letters. Can someone ask what happened to Marceau? Is that thing gonna kill Marceau? Kill him! Nonsense! These are very dangerous machines. It's something precious, however, smoking such a man is oft times that invent greater ill fortune shall befall us. And that's sure what happened. Plus, like I suppose it'll suck 10 million on worth of time, my friend? Stop being obtuse. What's that even supposed to mean? You even stuck like that for 10 billion hours or something? What? Well, not exactly. Well, T-Corp's particularly generous is called the 44-hour daily minimum time guarantee policy. How generous! When worst comes to worst, every citizen has the right to enjoy a minimum of 4-hour days. According to the T-Corp Public Welfare Council, 4 hours is the absolute minimum hour of time to guarantee human survival. Survive being key word here. My second 40 million on worth of time for your friend was too much, I suppose. This measurement error, that rarely ever happens. Let's see, pull the lever when you didn't even know what's going to happen? Is that a curiosity? Of course, 10 million times is a historically unprecedented amount of debt, so head see what will happen. You like first place in the lottery, and still only becomes close to 10 billion on, that's before taxes. I see you all belong in the Museum of History, if I'm being honest. Besides, I've been seeing only more than 150 hours in time tax that willingly step up in the gallery for, and beyond that, you choose to run and dig someone to an even deeper debt hole. The point is, I scarcely expect someone in 10 million on time tax hole to just walk out there like that. What's wrong with this guy? Oh, wait, Marceau, but he's ready not to such machinery. Thou art unarmed? I'm alright. Why don't you get down from the gallows for now, Marceau? Okay, with Faust, you returned just as this incident occurred. We're both glaring at the expression that were anything but friendly. I'm going to try to talk as fast for that character, but that is our... We go into the rewards. We go into our rewards. That is the announcer, Herbert. So, yeah. You can see why they were made into an announcer. Okay. It looks like they're both accusing me of letting the sinners run wild again, but we had our reasons. We've reached an agreement. And explain things to them, right? At least some of the agreement doesn't involve us collecting dang from that stupid gallows. 10 billion on is certainly an absurd amount of money. Doesn't change the fact that we are still responsible for it. We benefit from the extra time granted us, and its use was something that wasn't mutually agreed upon before unilateral activation. This was an unexpected event, no countermeasures could be put in place either. But we didn't exactly have a whole lot of time to debate whether I was allowed to slow down time or not. We really had to think on our feet back then. I feel a bit miffed about being treated as though I was somehow at fault for this. Find sacrifice one of us to settle debt request your value worth based on individual merit. For performance evaluation sheets for each student precisely for its application. The last pages of those evaluation sheets are extra options that plan on leaving anyone behind to take the fall for the group. Besides, 10 billion on isn't the kind of money you can settle the sacrifice of one individual. We could eventually find a reasonable compromise, but you're wasting your time horsing around in front of the gallows. That compromise is, we've been contracted to deal with the distortion. I guess we're really starting to put our names out there to specifically saw us out to deal with this distortion. Yeah, so I'll let other fixers and companies deal with this issue first. We were their 6th choice if the first 5 failed to produce a meaningful result. Gotcha. Stories are starting to circulate via word of mouth. I'll deny that. What kind of distortion are we dealing with this time? This request regarding a series of similar unsolved cases within T-Corp's borders. Some call it a case of time killing time. Some people have always fallen victim to the perpetrator. Case of time killing time. It's exactly what it says on the tin. Distortion is running wild, killing our time. Time is an asset here at T-Corp. It's not so difficult for us to track down the occasional time robberies by tracing them, but in the case of time-killing time, the girl does not leave any traces. It is simply gone, completely removed, and untraceable. No such thing has ever happened here before, thus the significance of this case cannot be emphasized enough. That is why we formally request that you solve this case for us. In return, we will exempt you from your time tax debt. Thus arriveth once again my time to shine. According to a book I've perused in recent days, any and all detectives who can solve a case of an urban nightmare or beyond is issued this special investigator badge during the course of their employment. This badge that may be, well, a universal pass to command all kinds of aid regarding the detectives. Fixers! We plan to use those badges, yes. Much of my long time on such badge for my collection. Protest thou shalt allow me to keep on badges once this case is dealt with. Nay, demand that I be awarded with us. There's 3 badges. One for my private collection, one for display, one for business. So that... Shut, lass. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's crack on, whack the distortion, get the hell out of here. I hate dealing with money problems. I value your enthusiasm, but I also appreciate if you allow others to finish their sentences before cutting them off and going off on a long tangent of your own. The problem is, they don't want all 13 of you running amok enough to solve the case. Indeed, I can't have your entire group run wild in the streets and potentially waste the precious time of our residents. Also, these special investigator badges, some T-Corp hand out like candy. Can't give away a whole box of badges for the 13 of them. Concur, to a degree. Also, continuously and consistently suggest that we cut down the number of sinners was the first one to welcome this offer. If you have done something like this a long time ago, what are you doing hauling all these dead weights? We'll leave the useless pawns behind us to wait in the bus while the elite team of high-performing individuals take care of business. You may come to be a part of this elite team of high-performing individuals, Otis. Do this, you would suggest otherwise. Alright, enough with your nonsense. How many of us are allowed to work on this case anyway? Fairly trail off, clearly unhappy about this outcome. Inside of the 4 individuals, including the manager, and the appropriate amount of people allowed to partake in this investigation. It's not a lot. Accepted. You barely managed to get the office for 4 after much debate. You have wasted your breath. Taking with the executive manager now will be more than enough to handily complete this mission. Right, it all comes down to my choice, huh? 3 sinners. So many eyes are on me. Not that I've ever had them look at me at the same time before, but the pressure's at a completely different one when it comes to making judgment calls like these. If the manager is deep in thought, but Putn's agonizing or something like this is a waste of time. I'm taking volunteers first, so let's see some hands. You know? First I shan't hesitate before such excellent opportunity! I think it's my time to shine. Oh, you don't even need to ask me, alright, let's get on with it. Oh, that was now what's going to hand. Just clean my glasses. No simple matter. I've not been with so few cities before, except for that one time when we accidentally walked through the outskirts to the back doors, where we have to take it slow and really consider all possible angles. A mess. It'd be too much trouble for me to listen and debate all the arbitrary limitations they set, so allow me to make this choice for you this time, Dante. Well, I don't think there's too big of a gap between them when it comes to their capabilities, but they all excel in different situations. Dante, are you listening? I said they'll be the one to choose your companions. No, I need to consider more than just their individual capabilities. Some will work better when paired together, but it's also true that haphazardly pairing them together might end up making a team that's less than some of its parts. I'm all about building team synergy. Wait, didn't Ro just say something about how people born in December and August don't mesh well together? And sinners who accompany Dante to solve this case are... To choose someone who can support me, calmly assess the situation, and remain free from biased judgment while making smart, rational decisions on the fly. The sinners who fit the description are... Do we even have anyone like that? I still have to choose someone, though. Damn it, I've got it! I choose Faust, Musou, Yi-san! Rojin, Ryoshu, and Hongwu. Huh? Wait, huh? Dante selected me, Musou, and Yi-san. I've been listening, Dante. I have certain things to discuss with Miss Faust regarding our upcoming journey. She's not motion. Yi-san was merely ruled out even before the meeting adjourned due to his history of developing an unauthorized infection at T-Club. Musou did not volunteer. There was no reason to volunteer. Though I may have been disallowed from joining this investigation, I'm truly grateful for your appreciation, Dante. I shan't soon forget this. Wait, that's, Hey, Otis, you know that's not at all what I mean. I just thought maybe we need someone skilled and experienced like you to eventually manage the reigning sinners while we're... Oh, okay. I really soured the mood, didn't I? The 3 of them, who I didn't even imagine in my wildest dreams would be hanging out together, all turned to look in my direction. Just the 3 of us, huh? Trio's such an eye-catching number, isn't it? What did I get, but why did 2 of you volunteer? That is not FAH. The greater the quantity and diversity of experience, the better it is. Daikyoto tranquilly drops her head to the ground, crestfallen. I have naught else to blame but my slightly lower vertical placement in the world. Indeed, that must be why Sir hath failed to catch my impassioned hand. Daikyoto sighed, dramatically lamenting how Vergilius did not even bat an eye in her direction, despite her being the first one to raise her hand. I'm pretty sure that wasn't the only reason he didn't pick her, though. 'Tis my final legacy I bestow upon thee. And so this book, magnifying glass, and these clothes? 'Tis my treasure, my collection. Prithee, be gentle with them. Why are you carrying 3 sets of clothing? One for my private collection, one for display, one for business, apparently. Is that obviously? Records investigation solution to 13 problems by Agatha. Somebody's autographed it. So who's this Agatha? Fine. How the owl so angry to the Lord Fixers? When she was a grade 1 fixer who was so prolific that she may well have been the face of the Staff Association. Truly, no one. Most people don't know those lore down Kyoto. Cumbersome clothes. How would I call themselves an ace detective without dressed appropriately for the occasion? Here, he's only worth the leading ace detective, but don't have counters with a special moustache. Like Lady Agatha says in the forum of the sport, that any self-respecting ace detectives always dress themselves in impeccable fashion. Don Quixote just let go. I mean, I'm sure everyone has a reason, but how come you didn't get picked for this Ishmael? You didn't get picked, never volunteered. Not every day you get a legitimate chance to get some free paid time off without breaking company rules. I wasn't about to let that chance slip. I guess I did have some last-minute regrets when I saw who Virgilius picked, but I'll just relax in for a bit and jump in to help when needed. Oh, good luck while the Elite Four. How about that? Well, the self-proclaimed Elite Four runs around T-Corp. Why don't we find a place to take the edge off and unwind? How unfortunate. T-Corp do not authorize the residents to run about unmonitored. You must understand that we simply cannot let individuals responsible for 10 billion arms worth of time tax room free without proper collateral. They have temporary lodgings for those who have failed to pay their time tax. Virgilius is pointing at what was clearly a jail cell. You said that's the lodging guide. They're going to jail. Yep, just living collateral apparently. It'll be fun! Hey, but you'll look back probably at this moment when it's all said and done, okay? We'll be right back, so you be nice and stay put. Nice. Chefs at least has some eating. Like, how about they just leave a note come back? I'm assuming we're gonna have to 10 million hours worth of time passed, I guess. What? Hey, wait, get back here! It's not enough time to finish weaving on the loom. Oh, down alright, we'll be back before you even— Thou shalt return triumphantly as a glorious band of his detectives! Mark my words! We set off on our journey after receiving the aforementioned special investigator badges, leaving the chaotic screaming and hollering of the remaining sinners behind. After a while, all we could hear was the sad, intermittent clattering of metal as someone violently shook the steel bars. Alright, looks like everyone's ready then. Let's get a move on and have a little chat with the third victim. Let's see, the caseworker said that there it is, they're just a stone's throw away. Huh? What do you mean, huh? Look at the record, Sluice is not the first year we've received a communicative state. How unfortunate. I mean, why are you coming along with us? Sorry, we're not taking psychic applications right now. Go away, shoot. Incorrect. One of us will be joining your team. We're going to send an employee with you so that we can receive immediate updates regarding your investigation progress. Pull that stick out of your ass. We're about to send a Class 2 staff member with you, but you're— Me? Class 5, badge? The chairperson employee replied cheerfully as he produced a twinkling badge from his clothes. I apologize for failing to recognize you, sir. I scarcely expect to see a Class 5 auditor all the way down here. You guys are Class 5 staff? Really? Class 5 is the highest rank one could reach as a wing employee, right? Yeah, as far as I know. Well, it'll be concerned. It depends on which wing you're talking about. Who knows, maybe there are Class 12 or Class 20 employees out there. Got it, good. Let's get a move on. We started silent bafflement as the employee stormed out of the building and then hurriedly followed him out the door. Is it absolutely great? That barely counts up to killing time. They're slowing down and speeding up time. They're eliminating it completely, just yanking it out of circulation. So, your name is— Mine? Unless you call me however you want. Names are such unimportant things, aren't they? No. Names matter. Really? Never call anyone by their names, though. Max can call out you however you want, but you're obviously here to be our handler. Yeah, that's true. Just me think it's Tadok who doesn't. Let me think. I've got— you'll just like to text about you because you're ever humble assistant who tagged along to your adventures. Okay, but still. Ryoshi, who was staring off into the distance while puffing her cigarette, suddenly spoke up just as Rory was about to retort. Assistant, lead us. Right away, ma'am! What's the difference between an assistant and a servant? My family used to employ. I'm sure one up room fast. I fucking love the outfits that— mainly Ryoshi's. I love Ryoshi's stupid mustache. And if we go into the extraction, I think it still is. I believe there is it just in Ideality? Yes, the special time investigators are in the pity system. So that's fun. But that will do it for this time, and next time we will begin our journeys with Ryoshu, Honglu, and Roja. But until then, see you guys later.